What
You're
up, fight
good.
fans? Chris here, Combat Loop MMA. We are joined with Sean Wisenbarger, the #1 heavyweight of Florida. Thank you, Sean, for joining us. We have very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. Well, we have Vigilant coming up, Quest 44. You're the main event. Tell me how the spotlight is feeling right now on you.
Um, it feels pretty good. I've had main events before, so the pressure's always there. I mean, whether it's a main event or you're the first fight, you're still going to have those nerves. Doesn't matter where you're at in your fighting career, you're still going to be dealing with those nerves. So I kind of just take those nerves and deal with them.
You're facing a guy named Joshua the Viking Bush. He's 7-7. Tell me what you know about Josh and how are you prepping for this dude?
So I know he has a hell of a right hand. I believe he's a wrestler. I've seen him shoot in a few of his fights, quite a few. He loves that single leg, and frankly, I do too. So I'm really excited. 14 fights. It's a lot of experience in the cage. It's going to be my most experienced opponent yet. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be a real test for me, see where I'm at, and
See where you kind of go to and where you kind of level out in the world. That is kind of what you're looking at. Now, we kind of touched on it just a second ago. You're the #1 amateur heavyweight in Florida. Do you stay cool as the side of the other side of the pillow, or is it kind of like nerve-wracking being something like that?
a little bit of both. You're always afraid to lose. There's more pressure to lose, I feel. Um, but again, the nerves are a little bit more than they were in wrestling. But even when I wrestled back when I was a kid, dealing with those butterflies, so everything I've done in my life has kind of, I feel like, led me and prepared me up to this moment with dealing with those feelings and dealing with those nerves.
Yeah, man. Wrestling, we kind of talked about it earlier. You said that was your first form of martial art. Wrestling is a different sport. And we talked about it. You send to Arkansas for 3 years. You send to Dagestan for 3 years. It's something that is not just learned overnight. Tell me how that kind of propelled you into martial arts and MMA.
I mean, I can tell you, if I didn't wrestle growing up, I probably wouldn't have the discipline to do this to begin with. And I definitely want to be, the #1 ranked heavyweight in the state. Wrestling has been a huge, huge, huge part of my MMA base and foundation.
It's important, dude. I'm telling you, in mixed martial arts, if you're not that base, it is a lot of trouble. Now, in every single fight so far that you've been in, it's been 100% finish rate. You are 7 finishes, man. Tell me about finishing. Do you go out for the finish, or did they just naturally come to you?
I mean, I'm a heavyweight. I try and get the finish. Most people don't want to go the distance. Heavyweights especially don't want to go the distance.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, dude.
So I feel like if I can, I'll get the finish. I feel like I'm experienced enough not to try and force a finish, but I definitely try and get the finish when it presents itself.
No doubt, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's always important. Now, I think I know the answer to this question. Do you prefer the knockout or do you prefer the submission?
The knockout.
Of
I
course, dude. Yeah. I kind of felt that way. I think that as a fighter, I think you take anything, bro. Like you're going to take a knockout or a submission. But I think if you get to choose, that knockout can get you that viral moment.
Yeah, most definitely, I agree.
All right. Well, it's now you've had one loss in your career, and we touched on it earlier when we were talking. What has that really taught you? Now, I always have taught people losses are lessons, and if you take a lesson from your loss, you become a better person from it. What did you learn from it?
I learned so much from my loss, and I'm thankful I went through that. Um, even the fight after my loss, if you watch me take him down, that's the first thing I do is establish my ground, because when I lost, I got that takedown, I got all hands happy and started throwing my hands without establishing my base, and ultimately cost me the position. Um, So I learned to really establish your base and make sure once you're on the ground, they're not getting up.
Yeah, patience is a huge part, and if you learn patience in fighting, man, you'll grow. Name me a spot inside your martial arts where you feel like you've grown the most at.
Um, I would say my relaxation, in a way. I'm not so tense all the time. My stand-up defense has gotten a significant amount better, along with my position dominance. So my
Yeah.
ability to stay in the position that I want to be in.
Well, I'll be honest with your stand-up defense, especially with the heavyweights, dude. When you're fighting some guys that throw that leather, you got to kind of keep it, and you got to have that stand-up defense as well as the takedown defense. So you got to be well-rounded in everything, especially at heavyweight. Now, tell me where you're training at, who you're training with, and really what has made you grow the most in your training.
So I train at Vigilant MMA in Port Charlotte under Sensei El Rey. Some of my key, I would say, like my key training partners, be John, J Cat Stevens, 6'3", Aaron. We have a guy named Professor there, and yeah, they just being a heavyweight, it's hard to find other heavyweights to train with.
100%, dude. I've heard that my whole life. It's hard to find, especially people like that are fast, that are good at different things. You have to go all over to find the heavyweights.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct on that. So, I mean, those guys particularly, there's a couple heavyweights, 205 in there, but they really help me maintain my ground, humble me, let me know I can be taken down. I do have weak spots in my defense. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not getting pushed in training, dude, then you know there's a problem because you will come across someone. Give me something. Give me your typical training week. What does like your typical training week look like?
So I mean, as a dad, I'm
I'm
busy.
training every day, baby.
Yeah, I'm busy. So it's Monday through Friday. It's either work, football, train. I go to my boys' practice. If I don't train, I bring my running gear to my boys' practice, and I'll do my miles. Usually the first half of their practice, so I can sit down and
I
watch.
bet them. I bet them parents are probably like, "What the hell is this guy doing out here all the time?" It's probably hilarious to see it happen. And if they ever ask you, like, "Oh, this guy is a mixed martial artist," they'll probably figure it out. Like, and your size too. They either think you're a professional athlete or a fighter. One of the two.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, if I'm not doing that, I'm training pancration, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. I try and do something, 5 to 6 days a week, give my body a day, usually on Sundays to kind of recover. I still hit the gym and lift, try to lift 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Your body's the temple, dude. You got to take good care of your temple. You have to have the relaxation days. You have to have good eating. I mean, there's so many different things that you have that are involved in fighting. Nutrition is one of the things I tell people.
that's
Another thing I always talk about it for young fighters. Yeah, another thing I always talk about for young fighters is building a brand. Can you tell me about the brand that you're building and what you're trying to continue to do for yourself?
So, my sensei kind of came up with my name. Um, I thought it was a little cliche if I came up with my own name. So he came up with the wrecking ball. So I kind of, you know,
That's awesome, dude. I like that. I need to get
yeah,
one of those shirts, man.
yeah, for sure. I've integrated my last name Wisenbarger into the ball and stuff. So
That's
I like
awesome, dude.
it.
I really like that.
And being a heavyweight, it suits me. Get
I
in
agree
there.
with you. You're a big dude.
One way or another, somebody's getting wrecked.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's what I like about you, man, is you understand. You know what the UFC is going after, dude. And especially it depends what you're looking for, but we like finishes and you'll always be a fan favorite if you're getting finished. I don't like you getting finished, but it's always good to have a finish in the fight. I mean, it gets viral. All right, tell me something. What's a timeline that you're looking for to turn pro? Do you have a timeline?
So I'm about to be 30 on the 28th this month. So I'm getting to that, to that age. I'm thinking October 25th. Valhalla has their, not their final, but their next event. And so, yeah, no, October 25th. I plan on that being my last, amateur fight. If I can get a boxing match or two in between October and December, I will. But
You got some good boxing skills, dude. I want to see them boxing skills, bro.
I need to
You
work
started stand up. Now I feel pretty confident in you now that you got some boxing skills and you're a wrestler. That wrestling's that.
Yeah. So after October, that's gonna be my last amateur MMA fight. If I can get a few boxing matches in, just to work on my hands more, I will. If not, October 25th, I'll be applying for my professional card and hopefully taking my first professional fight early, probably March of 2026, around there, just to give me enough time to adjust between that 3 and 5 minutes and
Sure.
try and build a little bit muscle memory with my elbows and obviously knees to the face and stuff like that.
Knees, elbows, and time. That's the big difference. Other than that, man, I tell every single person, get as much as you can. The amateur stuff just doesn't matter. When you go pro, it starts when it really starts to matter. So, man, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Long term, let me ask you. Long term, where do you see yourself at? Now, I know where I see you at already, but where do you see yourself at?
I see myself, going pro, doing well. There's somebody I follow, Anthony, the Daywalker, out of Clearwater. He fights September 9th, on the the UFC Contender series.
Yeah.
So I definitely see myself, winning my first 3-4 professional fights and getting that call for the Contender series in the next 2 years.
I do too. I do too. Personally, I think with your mannerisms, your character, happen as long as you stay on the right path. People lose. What you're going to do with it, because those losses, like you learn the lesson and you continue to build lessons, and not every loss is really a loss. It's a lesson. Now, this is my favorite part for you, dude. If you want to give out any call outs, any shout outs, if you want to say anything to your partners, your wife, your kids, anything you want to do, this is for you.
I got to shout out, my wife, Nicole. I definitely couldn't be doing this without her. While I'm training, she's with the kids. While, I'm fighting, she's with the kids and just supports me in every way and helps me chase my dreams. And yeah, shout out to my kids for changing my life and helping.
Let me see the big muscles, dude. Let me see the muscles. Oh yeah, you're like dad, bro. You're gonna be just like dad.
And then yeah, shout out to my my sensei. Without me stepping in that gym, I would never be where I'm at. I would never think that I would be in the position I am when I first started. You know what I mean? So yeah, big shout out to them, and then big shout out to my sponsors. My sponsors help me, supplement some of the costs with my training and my gym, and then my nutrition.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, it comes to my favorite part of probably the whole interview. Now, we're not next to each other. I'm trying to make it where I can see how fast you can submit me. I think it's pretty quick, but we have to get together and we're going to see how fast the Contender can beat this pretender. What do you think, dude?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, it has been nothing but a pleasure hanging out, talking with you. I am praying. I'm hoping that you do well this next fight. I'm pushing for you being a pro. I want to see you achieve your goals. I want to see you and your family just blossom and bloom, man. So congratulations to you. And I can't wait to see you. And hopefully we'll run into each other here soon.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, and have a great night.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.